Hello everyone! I am so sorry for the delay in getting this video out to you guys. It's just been a crazy couple of months. I was not done this book until the end of January, and then there's just been a lot going on and just never really got around to recording that last flip through. So my apologies. I appreciate if you're still watching. So yeah, I want to finish my December daily flip through with you guys. When I left off on video 2, we were here going into the 23rd. So this is where we're going to pick up again. So this page I didn't actually do any journaling on because I just thought it was too perfect. The last page we were on was the 22nd, and on the 23rd was actually the day that I went home to Nova Scotia for Christmas. So this book already had this cutout and the little tag behind that says home for the holidays, and it just lined up so perfectly with me actually going home for the holidays. I just thought it was a great little title page, I guess, for the new section of Christmas. So this page was just, it was just blank on top and then the red and white on the bottom. I added a strip of gold washi tape here. And this was, this little section is a stamp I had. So I just worked it all the way around the heart to make a wreath. And you might be able to see I used a bit of glitter glue on the dots, or on the berries, and just used pencil crayons to color in green on the wreath. And I'm really pleased with how it turns out. These were just some stickers that were part of the photo play collection that I'm using. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it's a nice little title page. So yeah, then we get into the crazy mess that is the holidays. So I just saved a little clip from my boarding pass there. I use some sparkly alphas just to make a nice big title. I always love to use my big glittery things at Christmas, so that's what I did here. So just talked a little bit about getting to the airport. I was flying all by myself. Actually, my boyfriend, I probably talked about it in the last video, but my boyfriend had left for home earlier, and Jackie and her husband had left the day before, so I was flying out all by myself, all by my lonesome. And then we've got this little tag. This I didn't really do. I just put a little strip of washi there, but and it was too small to journal on, and I didn't want to interfere with the home for the holidays, so I just left that blank. But I did journal on the back of it, again just talking about the being picked up at the airport. Mistletoe season was already on there, so I just left that and added this little die cut. And then we got right into the swing of things. I got to my mother's house a little, well, it was probably about 1 in the morning. But first thing the next morning on the 24th, we had to leave and go to Moncton to go to my grandparents' house. So my sister and I had to do the annual Christmas baskets in the middle of the night. If you've watched my video for last year's December daily, you'll see similar pictures. We do this every year. We make gift baskets and put everything together. So Jackie, God love her, had done so much of the work already. She'd already packaged everything up into the little bag, so all we had to do was really just put them into the baskets, wrap the cellophane. There's Jackie looking so tired because it was like 3 in the morning when we got done, but we love to do it. So then we get into the 24th. I think I've got 4 or 5 pages just as the 24th, because we do so much at Christmas. Like, there's just so much family stuff. So there was this little insert in it, so I just put some stickers on it to say Christmas Eve. That's me and Steve in the back of the car. Jackie and John had rented a car to drive to Moncton, so we got to be passengers this time. Normally we're the drivers because we had a car in Halifax, so we left early that day. We normally leave later in the day, but we were meeting Steve's dad for sushi in the afternoon, so we had a nice sushi lunch. It's hard to see in that picture, but John had ordered the sushi that looked like a big caterpillar, so I was taking a picture of that because it was just really, really cute. And then, yeah, and again, this was too little to journal on, so I just kind of stamped around the edges and used some gold color shine spray to splatter on there, just for a little sparkle. So then after the sushi lunch, we got to one of my grandmothers, my mother's, and we played around a little bit. The elf on a shelf of my cousin had been there and decorated. This is a picture of my mom, so we thought that was pretty funny. And then me and my sister, my aunt, and my cousin spent some time making these beautiful little Christmas ornaments. So we just spent a nice afternoon doing that. And then Christmas Eve for dinner, we go to my other grandmother's house, my father's mother. So I just took a nice big picture of the living room, all done up with the gifts, and a picture of my cousin and my brother-in-law just goofing off at the dinner table. And then we got this, Jackie got this wonderful picture of us with our dad and our grandmother. And like I said, I just love that picture so much. So of course that had to be in there. This is my niece, my stepbrother Rob and his girlfriend gave us this picture. This is not one I took. They had these pictures done, but they gave us one of these with our Christmas gift, and it's just such a cute picture of her. And she's my only niece, so she deserves a nice big spot in my book. So there she is. And then I got a selfie with Dad. It was just such a wonderful day, and I was just trying to capture that I got to see my family, and it's never sure if Dad's gonna come to Moncton. They don't always go to Moncton for Christmas, because I mean, of course, they've got their own house and their own things to do, and Dad's wife CJ, her son Robbie, they can't always make it up, and we didn't know if they were going to be able to since they had the baby this year, and so I was really glad that everybody got there. And then there was this little card, one more sleep. I added a little 25 because I find all the Christmas sets, you've got so many 25 stickers, so that seemed like a good place to put it. And this little sticker across the top just fit perfectly. So there's us. We spend the night at Steve's parents' house. They also live in Moncton. We're very lucky to have all our family in one place. So Jackie and John picked us up first thing in the morning to go to my grandmother's house for presents. So Jackie got a picture of us leaving the house first thing in the morning. And then we get into Christmas morning. This is one of the acetate numbers that came with the Heidi Swap book. And what I did is, you can see I just painted the back of it gold, just gold acrylic paint, and made it kind of a tab for the page. I thought that was kind of pretty and makes it stand out a little bit more. So if you're looking for Christmas, you can just grab that, and there's Christmas. So of course, just pictures of us opening our gifts and everybody looking and having fun, and you know, just awesome times. And picture of my grandmother opening. This is the gift basket that Jackie and I put together. We put them together for most members of our family, but yeah, we got a nice picture of Nanny opening hers, and then my mom and her boyfriend having fun. There's this joke. This is my grandfather. We gave him in his stocking there was this pirate hat, which was a reference to a lottery terminal. He like a video game he likes to play. I can't remember the word right now. A slot machine, his favorite slot machine. It's a pirate themed one. So they got him this pirate hat, and it was there's always one thing every Christmas I find that is just like the standout hilarious gift, and it was Grampy's pirate hat this year. Jackie had this is a picture Jackie had gotten, just this beautiful picture of my aunt and my cousin and my grandmother, and so again, it just got a nice big place, and I got to use one of my big Merry Christmas elements. It just, I don't know, it was just such a perfect picture. So I wanted to put that in there. And I didn't really have any journaling for the back, so I just put how I felt about the whole thing. There is no joy like being with my family, and that was really true, especially since this summer I had moved away and I've been away from my family. So that's just how I felt about things, and that's what I put on there. And then I get into Christmas dinner. So much food is the theme of Christmas, really. Like between dinner at one grandmother's and then we have dinner at the next grandmother's. And this actually, sorry, here we're starting with breakfast. So after we do the presents, my grandfather cooks us just the traditional bacon and eggs and sausage, and it's just the best breakfast. I look forward to it all year, and got a picture of us around the table. And then I talked about dinner as well. So of course we have some time between the meals, but I just put it all on one page because it's awesome. So just a picture of our traditional Christmas dinner, pretty standard, except we have fiddleheads, which is an East Coast Atlantic Canadian kind of classic thing. And we make this cherry cheesecake for dessert, so I got a picture of that. It's something we have every year. It's the only time I have it. And again, just a nice picture of us around the dinner table. We had Christmas crackers, so Jackie got a picture of me with my crown on, so I threw that in there. And then this was, so after Christmas dinner, we go home to my mom's, and there's a puzzle my sister and I do every year for Christmas. And we've been doing it since we were a child. It's this double-sided Christmas puzzle, and we've been doing it every year since we were children. And we started in, I think it was 2008, keeping track of how long it took us to do. We were just curious since we've done it so many times. So every year we record our time, and this time we beat our best time by 4 minutes. We've been on a decline, so we were really, really happy with ourselves for accomplishing a good time. So just a Christmas tradition. This just made a list of gifts that I gave and gifts that I received. It's just a piece of the paper from the Photoplay collection. I typed the list up in Microsoft Word and just printed it out on ivory cardstock and did some distressing around the edge to decorate it a little bit. Put a little tag on there. And then on the 26th, I met up with some old friends that, of course, I haven't seen since I moved here. So again, just got some pictures of us all together. She looks grumpy because that's how she always looks in pictures. She doesn't like being photographed. But yeah, so that's my reunion page. I was just happy to see everybody. And then, got pages stuck together here. And then on the 27th, it was time to go home. Again, I was flying alone because we had booked our flights there separately. Steve was flying earlier in the morning and I was flying a little bit later. So just talking about the flight home, and Mom and my sister had gone Boxing Day shopping, but they picked me up a few things and sent me pictures of what they had bought since I couldn't be with them that day. So just goodies they got me. And then here at home on the 28th, I took advantage of the Boxing Day sales by myself. My sister was in Halifax until New Year's, so I went shopping by myself and just took a little picture of the deals I got. And again, using my fancy glitter letters, I love that. And using up scraps too. These are actually an alpha from the Simple Story set I used last year, so always glad to use up some older stuff. 29th was actually a pretty uneventful day, except my cat was driving me up the wall. He had been pretty good with the Christmas tree while we were home, but a couple of days without us home, I had a friend coming over to feed them, and he was getting into the tree like crazy, like he'd broken a bunch of branches sleeping in it, so he was just driving me nuts that day. So I took a little picture of him and just was talking about him. Then on the 30th, just in time for New Year's, I got my package in the mail of all my supplies to do my January book, which I promised there is a video coming for that too. So yeah, I just called that one Happy Mail. I had a nice big puffy alpha I never get to use. But there wasn't a lot to say, so it was a good time to use big elements. And then finally, the end is nigh, both of my book and of the year. I just thought it was funny to use a title like that, and I had these pretty alphas to use. But we don't actually do much for New Year's here. I've never been a big New Year's person, so we didn't really do a whole lot. So there wasn't much to talk about. So good time to do a big title. And this I just have tucked in here. It's just I wish I could say I made this. This was made by my aunt. It's a beautiful card she made, and I wanted to save it, so I just kind of threw it in there. So yeah, there's December Daily, guys. Thank you for your patience again, waiting for the last video to come through. This book was really fun to use, the Heidi Swapp book. I'm really glad I had picked it up. The Photoplay collection I used, I like it, but I found the stickers were all too big. It was really hard to use a lot of them. Like, there were these smaller ones, but you might remember I showed you in some other places. There was one that was like a nutcracker, and he's like 4 inches tall, you know, just things like that. They're just, some of it was really big and really awkward to use, but I think I did a pretty good job. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. It couldn't be any fatter. It's like perfectly perfectly fat, so it lies nice and flat. So I think I did a perfect job this year. Thank you so much for watching, and for those of you who may still be working on yours, do get it finished. Hang in there. It's worth it. I know it takes a while, but it is worth it. It's so good to have these books to look back on. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.